passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dreams. As I look upon my life, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dream.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Yay, it's Thursday morning, and what a beautiful morning this morning. Yeah, it's springtime, and in springtime we bloom, right? So yes, we want to welcome you on the Inside Show, knowing that this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it, right? So you are on the Inside Show with none other than Talk with Joan Thursdays, and today we are rolling two only, both host and co-host. So yeah, we're gonna just do certain things. Yeah, we're gonna speak on a very profound topic that I think sometimes I feel this topic is untapped into. I don't know of anybody who spoke on this topic, but we want to speak on a topic named the power of the podium. Because this month was a month of leadership, so we just actually want to speak on the power of the podium, irrespective of what podium, But before we go into the topic, I would like you to get out your mirrors, and we're going to ask you the question. And before that, while you're getting out your mirror, I'm going to ask Leanne just to greet you and just to say hi to you on this Thursday morning.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome, and thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. We love the comments. Please share the word. We believe that we have conversations that uplift women and offer a woman's perspective on so many things. So thank you for the support that you continue to give us. I also want to just give a shout out to our other co-host, Pastor Vi. If you're online, we're missing you. We hope that you are well, and we hope to see you soon. I know the listeners are also definitely missing you too. So that's it from us. And like Joan says, we are in for a very unique conversation, and we're hoping that you'll stay tuned with us.
Yes, absolutely. So, Violet is actually, she went to Cape Town because her brother passed on. So she did the funeral, and I think she left yesterday morning because I spoke to her on, was it yesterday or day before? So she said they're leaving like yesterday morning, early morning. So and she's leaving tonight. She's leaving for the States, so she will not be with us for 6 weeks.
Oh no, didn't know that.
Yeah. So yes, she's not with us for a few weeks. That is a long time, but nevertheless, I hope and I trust that you will have a good time in the States, girlfriend, and enjoy it. Hey?
Definitely, and bring us something, eh?
Yeah, bring us something from Macy's, girlfriend.
Yes.
You know, that's my store. Yeah, I love that store very much.
Yes, no water and sand, please.
No. You can't go with water and sand into that suitcase, right? But nevertheless, if you have your mirrors, I would like you to just participate with us. And if you look into the mirror, I want to ask the question today, what is the woman or the man looking back at you are saying to the world today? What are you saying? What's your message to the world today? Right? So Leanne, what will you say?
Sure. Well, I am a bit, I think my message is, or my feeling and my mirror conversation today is definitely rooted in what I've been experiencing. And I think a lot of people have been experiencing the impact of load shedding, the impact of things not working like they ought to. It affects you phenomenally. And so I feel like I've been taking some hits. And so my message to myself today is that, girl, God has given you a spirit of love and power and of a sound mind. And sometimes you also have to get up and go on the offense. You have to go up and you have to take territory. You have to get up and you have to
Yes.
do something about it without waiting to be so frustrated at the hits that you've been taking. You actually have to go on the offense yourself. So that is my conversation with myself this morning. That's genuinely my feeling.
Yes, that's the message that Leanne have to the world. Come on, girl. You sometimes have to go on the offense too, you know. My message to the world today is you have a voice, so use it. Open up that mouth and speak against the injustices in our world, the injustices in our country. That is what I'm saying. Don't be silent. Speak out and let your voice be heard. That is what I'm saying to the world today, right? I don't know what you're saying. Come on, let me hear what you are saying on the link on the Inside Show with Leanne and Joan. Yeah, right now, I don't know. I see Gail is online. Gail Brayley, you are online. What are you saying to the world today? What is your message? I see Pastor Eileen Paleman is on the line. Rochelle, Melanie's on the line. Monique Job is on the line. Shonice Davids. Thank you so much for tuning in, and good morning to you too. You are saying good morning to us. We are saying good morning back to you. What are you saying to the world today? I would love to know that. When you look into the mirror and that girlfriend looking back at you, what is she saying to the world? Right? I'm going to watch your comments, and we're going to actually tell the audience, what are you saying to the world today, right? So yes, we are doing the power of the podium. So this is a topic that I don't know, because I read a book with influential women. It's different types of women, different women who actually compiled a book, and they're giving their stories in the book, and they're actually empowering other women through this book. And my husband bought this book for me some time back.
Yeah.
And I'm using this book now only. To be honest, it was on my shelf for very long. He bought it in the States. And now only I am digging into the book because, we're speaking on leadership.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know what this woman are actually saying, to influence me personally, and so that I can influence others and empower them. So I don't know about you. I actually want to say to every speaker, every educator, every preacher, every teacher, every consultant, every trainer, every coach, every person who actually takes the podium, whenever you have the opportunity to speak, I would really love to ask you that you are the person who's placed onto that stage, onto that podium to make a difference. So let us make that difference, right, in the world today, because you never know. I like I said to Leanne when I chatted to you, when I sent you the WhatsApp, I said to you, this lady, one lady, Louise Phillips, she says, silent is not golden.
Yeah.
When it's only men talking.
Yeah, and that was quite a unique take on it. So I had a good old laugh there because it's such a common idiom. Silence is golden.
Yeah.
But like she says, silence is not golden when men are doing all the talking.
Yeah. But if you think about it,
yes,
that is true. Why? We also have voices as women,
Our silence should always be a choice.
It should. It should. And we actually have the choice. The choice to make, to voice our opinions.
Yes,
right?
You do. I'm just thinking about the state of silence. because I think that is a big deal.
Oh, yeah, very.
In fact, this is something I learned from you, and I still find it very funny. Duck big staper.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
We
often
must do
because
that.
you can't find to your
Especially women.
silence.
Yeah.
You can't find to your silence. And I don't think women are built to keep too many things inside of us. It
Yeah,
kind
no.
of leaks in our faces. It leaks out of us. It kind of
Absolutely
seeps out.
so.
It's actually much
Absolutely.
more healthy just to talk about those things that are inside of you. I also considered the state of silence, and silence is a state of the heart.
Yeah, true.
And if your mouth and your heart are in agreement, then that is a good.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good
Yes.
thing, and then you can be silent
Yes,
about
yes.
something. But if your mouth is shut up, but your,
your
heart,
heart-
yeah, is not in agreement with
Yeah.
that, it creates a lot of internal turmoil.
Absolutely
And
so.
that is when the silence is not
Absolutely.
golden.
That is where you can see it from the outside.
Yeah.
Because the inside is reflecting on the outside.
It's oozing out. It's oozing out. And so we want to embrace that kind of unique relationship between
Yeah.
what's happening inside
Yeah.
of us and the opportunities to voice those opinions or voice those feelings or voice that representation.
Yeah,
And
true.
how do we do that responsibly? And what are the platforms that we do it on? Joan is calling it the podium. And like she referenced it, it can be places where you teach
Yes.
because you have a platform of
Yes.
teaching. You are
Yes.
influencing young minds. We have platforms of even being a parent. That is a platform. What are you
Yes.
doing with these platforms that you have? And I
Yeah.
think that when you refine your message and your word, when you are given an opportunity to have a larger platform, you should actually have a message.
Absolutely so.
You should have a message that is
Absolutely.
steeped either in inspiration or purpose or power. It should not be something that is just something that you aspire to. I
Yes.
just want to have a platform.
Yes, true.
Because what is the reason why you would just have a
Yeah.
platform?
You have to influence.
Yes.
Yeah.
And be
It's
responsible
it's
with that
important,
moment.
yes. It's important to take the ingredients that is within you.
Yeah.
You know, as you bake a cake, as you cook, you have certain ingredients that you put into that pot to give the flavor.
Yeah.
So you have to give flavor to the conversation that you actually, or the presentation
Yeah.
that you are actually presenting to the audience,
Yes.
right? And that is actually exactly what we are talking about. Many of us, even in conversation with girlfriends, with others, a lot of us in our situation, we are actually in the church per se,
Yeah.
and we are given platforms where we can stand and talk. You know, there's platforms where you are in a conversation that you didn't even ask for, maybe at the gym, maybe wherever,
Yeah.
but you are placed on a stage amongst few people,
Yeah.
you know, without knowing that that's your podium.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? God creates opportunities for us to be that voice that we can empower, that we can actually be of an encouragement to others.
Yeah.
And I like that because we have voices, you know. And I don't know about you, but I think one of these ladies also said, they said, you know, woman actually wants a place at the table.
Yeah.
They want a seat at the table, not just a seat,
Yeah.
right? In the boardroom, right? Like Cheryl Bloomberg says in the book, Lean In, she actually mentions, and she says, you know, being like the CEO of what is it, Facebook, used to be.
Yeah. Facebook or Google, one of the
Yeah.
two.
So she actually says when they come into the boardroom and there's a meeting and there's seats at the table, but there are also seats around the table,
Yeah.
you know. So she says she noticed that a lot of women, influential women with PhDs, women who knows their topics, but the woman always takes the back seat. And she actually asked the question to one of them, and she asked, but why don't you come sit at the table?
Yeah,
Why do you always choose the back seat? So she says, well, you know, the guys always sits there. So that is how we are as women, and I think that needs to change. We actually have opinions. We actually have voices. And most of the times our voices that we have and the potential that is locked up within us are the answers to many problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that is what I'm actually saying to you. We need actually to voice our opinions. I'm going to ask you to just read a few of these ladies that I see. Oh, a lot of them actually says what they are saying. I see I am an influencer. Make your light shine like a house on a hill. That is Monique Job. I'm going to
like
ask
that.
Leanne to do the readings today. I like that too.
Thank you, ladies. And yes, I think just before I read, I wanna just mention that you have to evaluate what have you been conditioned or programmed to see as normal and to see as okay. If it's okay for you to always to take a back seat, why have you, what around you has groomed you to believe
Yeah.
that is actually the
Yeah.
place for you and not the place at the
Yeah.
table? So let us check what you ladies have to say. We have Monique Job. I'm an influencer, make your light shine like a house on a hill. So that's a good declaration.
Yes.
Because it's like saying, I acknowledge who I am. I'm a
Yes.
person that needs to be heard. Gail Briley, for me, it will probably be that you should not wait around for opportunities and that you should empower yourself and create them. You have to be in it in order to win it.
Yay.
And another one from our same contributor, Gail, if silence is a gift, please teach me how to nurture that gift. I like that one. I walked into that
Gail,
one.
I can hear you. I can actually hear you. You are not someone who can keep quiet,
Put
right?
it there between us. Yes, and you know there is a place. I think for women, what we have maybe learned out of wisdom is that not sometimes you lose battles to win the war. And, you know, the Spirit of God will always guide you and say, not every conflict or every difference is an opportunity for war.
Yeah,
Sometimes
true.
you have to bide your time.
Yes,
and God
true.
has given us wisdom to do that.
Yes.
Otherwise, we come across as bulldozers or
Yeah,
bullies.
yeah.
And we take on attributes that are not necessarily feminine
Ours,
and
yes.
our own and not authentically, unique to us. So we become something other than what we are. So we wanna win the war. We wanna gain influence.
Yes.
We wanna continue to build other women up so that they can be in positions where they are free to have conversations that are important to them, be free to have conversations that will impact and help another woman. I know that often, sometimes you struggle with something, and when you see it accomplished in somebody else, it gives you inspiration and hope and an idea that you can actually achieve that
it.
too.
Yes. Absolutely.
So the more we see women doing
Others,
what
yes,
they do,
yes.
the more it helps those who have been disempowered for
Absolutely,
whatever reason
absolutely
in their
so.
lives.
Yeah, it's like someone said. I think I actually made a note of it. Where they say the former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in the USA is used to taking the heat. So they say learn from women who already,
Yeah.
walked the path.
Yeah.
Women who took the heat,
Yes.
on certain issues. So many times we don't want to take the heat. Many times we shy away because we are too scared to take the heat.
Or to be labeled as a troublemaker
Yeah.
or being
and-
outcast and
yes.
ostracized. Yeah.
Yes. And I think sometimes, you see, if you want to be influential, if you want to be a person of influence, a person who actually wants to stand out there and make a difference in the world, if you want to advance into a position of power, your place is at the podium. It's on the podium, different podiums. I'm not talking about being a preacher, guys. And listen, we are not, what do they call this? Woman's lip.
Yeah, we're not starting a feminist movement.
No. We are just trying to actually guide you to use your voice when you have an opinion, to raise your opinion, because that opinion can make a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it can help.
It can help others. It can empower so many others. Sometimes someone just needed that word.
Yeah.
We all have a podium on social media.
Yeah. And how we use it, we have to think about.
We have to.
Yeah.
Because many times I find when I put something on, someone will say, oh, just a word I needed.
Yeah, that is
you
true.
know, and you can also agree on that, you know, that someone somewhere out there needs a word of encouragement. Someone needs to be pushed a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just to get the best out of them. So that is what I'm talking about when you are given an opportunity to be on the podium. Right, I like it in coaching. There's a saying that goes, "Who do you allow on your stage?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
That is nice.
So who's playing the roles on the stage of your life per se, right? And sometimes it is people who are on the podium that you allow on the stage of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and that is what it is. But yeah, after all, there are dynamic speakers who provide a vision of a better future and who inspires and initiate change efforts. So someone like Hillary Clinton, someone like Michelle Obama, someone like, I don't know, in our country, someone like Winnie Mandela was one of those people.
She was definitely a revolutionist.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
and she actually stood up for certain issues. Of life. I don't know today.
Yes.
If I must think politicians, I think if I look at women, I don't know. I don't know.
You mean they're not as prevalent as
maybe
men.
I don't see them. Maybe I don't know them.
But I think thinking about Winnie Matikizella Mandela is a good example because she was a progenitor in her own
absolutely.
time. And if you look at the weight or the dynamic of the time period that she had to stand up against, she almost had to become something else in order to achieve that. And you find that she stood her ground in silence, and she stood her ground in public as well.
Yes.
But she definitely stood her ground.
No,
and I think
absolutely
that's
so.
what makes her powerful. She stood her ground, and she could be revered and honored after years to come because of that. And it wasn't easy. I mean, being an African, being in
it
apartheid,
wasn't easy, man.
being a woman as well.
Yeah.
She had so many strikes against her,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
she managed to do that. And
she overcame a lot of things.
yes, and if you think about sticking to topic about the podium, when she took the podium, she had a message.
She had a message.
She had a message.
Absolutely so. She
Yeah.
could empower. She could influence.
Yes.
and that is exactly what.
Yeah.
Whether it was bad or whether it was good, but she could influence. She had a voice.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes, she did.
So I don't know about the rest though. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
In today's life.
Who can we think about as leaders, examples?
Yeah, in South Africa per se.
Yeah.
I don't know, but if I look at someone like Hillary Clinton, you know, there was an article that went where she had to stand up when she was, I don't know how many minutes she was bombarded with questions. She wasn't given an opportunity. Every time when she wants to say something,
She
then
was shut down in it.
then a senator comes in and shuts her down.
Yeah.
And until she allowed herself to become angry.
Yeah.
And then she voiced her opinion. And then the opinion that she voiced was a message that actually went so viral
Yeah.
that actually took the people's attention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that made her the person whom she was. I'm looking at Michelle Obama. When she speaks, it's not only for her country.
She
I'm a
represents
type
something.
of person. I watch these people.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking at someone like in the sports field, like Serena Williams,
Yeah.
who stood up
Against so many things.
Against so many things.
And I'm noticing something amongst them. You know, Winnie Mandela and Hillary Clinton, they also have this common thing, is that you see them having to become something they maybe would not have necessarily been. And I'm talking about, they are very complex examples.
Yes.
Because there is kind of a good and a bad to
Yes.
them. There's a healthy and an unhealthy way to them. I remember Nelson Mandela says that Winnie Matikizella had become ungovernable. But the point, and you know what, where I think the root of that comes from is when there's such a lack of support.
Yes.
You see, you will pay for the message that you carry. You will pay and they paid. They paid with difficulty. They paid with resistance. They paid with being labeled as being ungovernable, as being troublemakers, as being evil, as being
rebellious,
wicked, as being rebellious. They paid with that message.
Yes.
So, but that's politics, and politics is a dirty game.
Yeah, it is very much.
But what we do want to see is that when you have an opportunity to take a podium or take a leadership position, that you work out your message. And I think from maybe a more Christian viewpoint is that agreement with your spouse or agreement with your cause or your organization can give you a lot of support.
Absolutely.
And you don't
so.
have to go rogue.
Yeah.
Because
so that is actually things that we can ask. What is the things that you can use on the podium?
Yes.
Right. So the elements to use on the podium, though, like you say, come prepared.
Yes, with your message.
As one, have a message.
Yes.
Have something to say.
Yes.
And know what you are saying.
Yes.
Right? Your message must be clear.
Yes.
Right? And if we talk on that alone, what is the message that you believe in so deeply that you can actually bring over to the audience?
Yes.
Because sometimes we have a message, but we don't believe in our own messages.
And it starts there. I think that when our voices are muted, we find it difficult to almost understand our own message, because our message is often refined in counsel, refined in advice, refined by the Spirit of God. And when you are constricted, you don't have an opportunity to form a message that is healthy and wholesome. And it starts also with knowing yourself.
Yes.
If you want to take a podium or you want to take a position, know yourself at least.
Because
yourself
if you know yourself, you will bring the characteristics that's within yourself to the fore.
A much more powerful message.
In a powerful way.
Yeah.
And if you know also what you as a person went through and your message, that you can actually empower someone else with what you experienced. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So your story.
Yeah, your testimony is such a powerful message.
It's a powerful
It's something that you lived through.
Oh,
it's something that you hopefully overcame.
Yes.
It's something that was deeply personal to you, but not deeply unique. Our messages are so common and we don't even realize how
Someone
much.
out there don't know. You overcame.
Yes.
But someone out there are struggling with the same thing that you overcame a year back or a few months back.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Or some time back. And that person just needs that
people
voice,
need to know
that message.
Yes, that you got through it.
You got through it. And
Yes.
how did you get through it?
Yes.
And then there's another element that that I can actually say, diagnose your audience.
Okay.
Know who sits in the audience.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we underestimate the audience.
Okay.
Sometimes we come unprepared and we say certain things. There's many times when I watch certain things on social media.
Yeah.
And I can see when someone is prepared and when someone is unprepared. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because they don't diagnose their audience. They don't know who sits in the audience. And for the church, this is vitally important, to not just come unprepared to the podium.
Yes.
But to know who's sitting in the audience who needs a message, to be empowered to go out there. Someone came there with some suicidal thoughts. Someone came in there with needs.
Yeah.
And if you come unprepared with your message, you actually
are irresponsible.
You are.
Yeah.
You are definitely irresponsible to the task that you are given. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think, to me, it is so important. I don't know how to put it.
How to bring it home enough.
But I want to say, jy het die verantwoordelikheid om te weet dat daar is mense daar wat 'n woord nodig het. En as jy nie bereid is om tyd te neem, to take that time out to actually prepare the message, right? That person will go out there with no
Empty.
hope,
Yeah.
right? It is so important. That person will go out there not knowing that, hey, what do I do in my situation? I came here for a message and now
I'm leaving with nothing.
I'm leaving with nothing.
Yes. How will they believe
How?
if it was preached to them?
How? So if we are, I always take it like that. That is why I never take it for granted.
Lightly, yeah.
No, I don't. I can't. And I know with women, it's different because we always have the butterflies in our stomachs, the anxiety, the anxiousness,
Yeah.
But we can overcome that if we know ourselves.
Yeah.
Number one, if we have the message clear
Yeah.
and we believe the message, right?
Yes.
And we live the message.
Yes.
And we've prepared the message. So if we come prepared, knowing ourselves, we can actually overcome that anxiety.
No, you can. And, when you have a message that is bigger than you, you also develop a deeper appreciation for delivering the message
Yeah.
at the expense of
Yeah.
what it costs you. It doesn't really matter that you're nervous for 5 minutes, because once you get
Once you-
over it,
yes,
the
true.
message
That's so
prevails.
true.
And I think you're also touching on something important, is that be the message. That also speaks to our authenticity.
Very true.
If we internalize our beliefs by genuinely understanding who we are,
Yes.
and also understanding what our message is, and for people of a Christian faith, it can often be rooted in conviction. God can give you a message that you feel very strongly or passionately about because it's rooted in conviction. It's rooted in a deep place within you. And when that happens, the message is inside of you, which means that the message begins to permeate from you.
Yes,
So it
yes.
comes out in your words, it comes out in
Yes.
your actions, your
Yes,
behavior, how
yes,
you treat
yes,
people.
yes.
And on a smaller scale, how you live can be a podium as well. How you live can be a platform.
Absolutely
And we
so.
are called actually to be ambassadors, and an ambassador represents
Yes,
something. And it
yes.
should be the message that is inside of you.
Absolutely so. I like what one of the ladies also said. She says dynamic speakers provide a vision of a better future and inspire and initiate change efforts. That is what a dynamic speaker does.
Yeah.
That is when you take the podium, you actually bring vision to the fore.
Yeah.
You're actually opening the eyes of someone who's sitting there, blinded in their situation,
Yeah.
bombarded with this lot of thoughts, and don't know the direction to take. So you actually taking the veil off their eyes, you're giving them that light
Yeah.
that they did not see before. So you're giving them a vision. You're giving them vision to see,
Yes.
that there is hope, that yes, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that is what a dynamic speaker can do. What is that smile all about?
It's an inspiration smile. I hope people are becoming as inspired as I am. And it permeates from you, Pastor Joan, because your message is refined. Pastor Joan has a message for women. She has a message to the younger generation. She wants to give opportunities to those that are out there. And it's apparent, so it oozes out. And I think that's what's magical about a message. So we mustn't
Yeah,
take
it's
our
true.
podiums. We mustn't take our podiums for granted, and we
No,
mustn't
never.
take it lightly.
Never take it lightly.
And we also recognize that positions like that can be used to. It can be used to be. It takes away people's voices. What I mean is that sometimes the opportunity to be on a podium is used as like a bargaining tool. And
oh yes.
yeah, so-
most definitely.
so sometimes people
it's
feel-
to gain some status.
yes,
Yeah, sometimes people use it for that reason.
yeah, and sometimes people underestimate their message because it hasn't been recognized on a platform like a podium.
Yes.
So you don't
It's so
need a podium
important,
to
eh?
validate the message. You don't need a big stage to have a good message. The message exists by itself. You just need to continue sharing the message, and the opportunity where, and one day you might have the opportunity to share it on a larger scale, and then you'll be prepared and you'll be seasoned.
Absolutely. And also, before you even consider what your message might be, get answers to questions. Questions like, what are my audience members most concerned about? What is the need for now?
Yeah, speak to the need.
You know, speak to the need. You ask questions like, what challenges do they face?
Yeah.
You know, that's why I say diagnose your audience.
Yeah.
Because there are questions that you ask yourself before you actually give the message.
Yeah.
These are the questions that you have to check.
Yeah.
You know,
Be relevant. Don't be
yeah,
tone
be
deaf.
relevant and
Yeah.
don't speak above people's understanding and also over their heads.
Yeah.
If they the way they put it, right?
Yes.
Ask questions like, what are their common interests? What are the values that influence their behavior? And what information could be most helpful to them? You know, because although your message may have broad application, it will be best received when it's tailored to your audience.
Yeah.
That is so important.
It is,
you know,
yeah.
because people then identify
Yes.
with the message.
Much easier.
Because if you talk above their heads, no, and they don't understand your lingo,
Yes.
and you want to use high words,
Yeah.
and it's not speaking to the audience.
Yeah.
There's-
In other words,
there's
don't be so caught up with
There's-
yourself,
There's
yeah.
no rapport, actually, you know,
Yes.
because you're speaking totally
Yes.
over their heads.
Outside of what they.
Outside what they face.
Yes.
So it's important. You must tailor your message according to the needs of the audience.
Yeah. Know who you're speaking
And
to.
know who you're speaking to.
Yeah.
Identify your audience. Know that there are doctors in there are judges in that audience, there are people with degrees in the audience, there are people, and it's different. You are speaking to different age groups. You are speaking to millennials, you're speaking to baby boomers, you are speaking to Generation X, you are speaking to different generations.
Yeah.
So your message must be so clear that it touch actually everybody
Yeah.
in the audience. Am I right?
It does, and you know, if you're worried about what kind of a message can touch so many people simultaneously, and for me, one of the easiest
and
answers is
because
the truth.
in that, yeah, also because it's not. Sorry to say, like you find in the China shops,
Yeah.
one size fits all.
Yes.
No, your message is not one size fits all.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's important to actually tailor the message to the needs then.
Yeah.
That is really true.
Yes.
The truth.
Yeah. Or
Of the word.
We deliver the message of truth, but we change the vehicle in which we deliver it so that it goes and it meets the people at their need. In other words, the word of God will always be the truth, but
Yeah,
how
true.
you share it will influence how it is received. So
Yes.
if you're speaking to youth, you share it in a way that brings relevance in their lives.
Yeah.
If you're speaking to a woman, you see what it is that they need.
Yes.
A softer message, a message that identifies with our struggles. And so
You speak to
tailor,
leaders.
yes.
You tailor the message.
You tailor the message. Always speak the truth, but tailor the message.
Yeah, very important, so that it can touch everybody.
Yes.
Right. Also, when we look at the church podium,
Yes.
what will we say the church podium is? I know it's a sacred place,
Yes.
right? Where we come there in holiness because we are speaking on behalf of. Am I right?
Yes, that's very true. It's not. It's more. We are more the vessel than the message. It is God's word that is the message, and we just become a representative and a vessel.
Yes.
And it can attract good things, and it can attract bad things. The good things would be that people on the podium can be quite attractive. And I've heard it being said amongst Christian people that it is the anointing of God that makes you that attractive. And it causes sometimes a carnality to aspire, to be invoked in people, to aspire to that but sometimes for the wrong reasons.
Yes,
So
true.
we must always speak as representatives
Of
of God's
Christ,
word
yes.
instead of our
own.
yes, our
Yes.
own representative.
Yes.
Let Christ shine through
Through
us,
us, yes.
instead of
So that
trying
the
to get our
glory of God
personality
can be
through it.
seen through
Yes.
us.
Yes.
You know, because we come with His message.
Yes, His
It's
message.
His message. He sent us into this world
Yes.
with His message.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We are but just the vessel that that is actually bringing the message. We are the postman
Yes.
with the letter to say, listen, this is what someone have written.
Yes.
And this is the message, the letter that we are delivering to you.
Yeah.
It's a sacred place to me. It's a place of influence.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know, the church podium is a place of influence where you influence the minds of the lowest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to emphasize it more. That you are the vessel that God chose for a time like this, in a specific a scene, in a specific time, in a specific place. He's placed you, and He actually have given you the responsibility to take that responsibility upon yourself to go and deliver the message.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The podium can be that place of empowerment where you empower people
Yeah.
in the audience.
Yeah.
Right? People who thought that it's over and done with them,
Yeah.
who receive that message of empowerment that, listen, it's not over.
Yeah. You can
You know,
speak hope.
You speak hope, you speak destiny.
You speak
know,
life, yeah.
you speak that life because God has actually placed you there at that specific time
Yeah.
to do what He's called you to do in that moment.
Yeah.
You know, you can use it, and the reason why I always say you can use it at the gym, because, you know, sometimes you don't know the people, you just go there for your own thing, but someone walk up to you and just offload their stuff,
Yeah.
you know, and you can actually be that. You're on a podium at that time.
Yeah.
You know, to speak into the life of this person and give the person hope. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you do.
And this is at a restaurant.
Anyway.
Anywhere can be your podium.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But if we talk on church podiums, and I don't know if we can maybe go on and see what can happen on the church podium. We talk on influence. We can influence people, empowerment. We empower people.
Yeah.
Encouragement.
I think church podiums are. I think you can also have a traditional viewpoint of it.
Yes.
So it can be quite maybe guarded and
Yes.
thought of not only as a sacred space, but a space where that's meant for only one type of person. But the truth is that a pulpit is a place where the message of God is spoken.
Yeah.
And it is meant for His people to hear. And people who represent God should speak in a place like that. Like, you know what's really powerful is to listen to the testimonies of believers. I know in old school churches they used to have like testimony Tuesdays or bid-eer.
Yeah.
And those messages are important.
Diagnose.
Yeah, those messages are important because it shows that Christ can be elevated through anybody's life.
Yeah.
And not only one type of person. It's not a type.
Yeah.
It's the message of Christ that can be elevated.
And also, you see, a podium can sometimes also be used by the person who's on the stage at that specific time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For your own
for your
ends.
own gain,
Yes.
for yourself.
Yeah.
The podium can then, if it is from yourself, it can be used as slander. It can be used to damage.
You can misuse the influence you have.
You can. I just feel something. You can use that sacred space.
Yes. For a carnal reason.
For because of a carnal mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it is very important for us to know and understand the power of the podium. Oh, my word. There's power in the podium, guys. There's power. And I'm not just talking about church podiums. I'm talking about any podium where you at, where you are. This, where we are, Leanne and myself. This is a podium. It's a platform. You know, it's a stage. Whether we like it or not, this is the place where we can empower those who are tuned into this voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And hence, we prepare and we understand the message. You know what I'm saying? And we live the message through the grace of God.
Yeah.
So that is why we know what we're talking about, due to the fact that, and I know women have to first then, we have some sort of things where men have advantages where they can just throw it. But women first have to establish, you know, we first have to say where we're from, what we are doing, who we are. So hence I'm saying we are on the podium most of the times, if I may put it that way. So we know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So you can trust us in this topic. We know exactly what we're talking about. I like what Louise Phillips says. She says, women have to learn from other women who have, I think we dealt with this, who can take the heat. She says, stick your neck out in public to confront the status quo, and you might well become a target for criticism. If you stick your neck out against the status quo, you can become
a target for
criticism. That is so true. That is so true. If we must speak on one topic now, we will find criticism.
Yeah.
Right? If we must talk on certain issues, that is not on our thingy at the moment, on our topic at the moment. But the minute you speak about certain things, you are criticized. Right?
Yeah.
If we speak our opinions, even in the church per se, you are criticized because firstly you are a woman.
Yeah.
And it's not your place. Yeah. It's not your place. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad. Men have places anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
Women
That's why
it's not your place.
It is a struggle.
Struggle, man.
It's in the second place you want to get the message out, but the first struggle is often to get an opportunity to get your message out. And I think there are places that still reduce the influence of women, and there are places that allow for the influence of women. And I think it's healthy to have a perspective of both a female and a male.
Yes.
Because our society is made up of male and female. And women play such vital roles, not only in societies, but in organizations and any place really.
All over the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is this dual...
as we said earlier in one of our... there's a great camaraderie, man, when you are together.
Yeah.
When
there's power
man
in
and
agreement.
woman are united and standing together.
Yes.
You know, I also like the saying that goes, women leaders with strong opinions must be prepared for pushback. If you are a strong woman and you raise your opinions irrespective of what podium you're on, you must be prepared
for the pushback. Yeah.
You know, that makes you strong, though.
Yeah.
Because you believe your message, you will be able to defend the message.
Yeah, and your message becomes refined the more you defend it.
Yes, absolutely so. And nobody with a thin skin will survive an onslaught of negative feedback.
Yeah.
If you have a thin skin, you will not be able to survive. But you can look at women like Hillary Clinton and them, who actually went through this. They had skin thick skin.
By the end
And
of it.
sometimes, as you said in the beginning, sometimes you have to become offensive.
Yeah, you have to go on the offense.
You have to go on, because that actually gives you that push
Yeah.
to push back. You know, that strength to push back, to say,
This is not
this is
happening
not,
today.
this is not on my TV. It's not playing on my TV today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And if you spend all your time defending something, you might get caught up in just
yeah.
defending
Oh,
something.
yeah.
So it's important to have a place
balance.
of origin
Yeah.
so that you can push towards
Yes.
something.
Yes.
And that is what I mean with the offensive.
Yes.
Is that you need to push the message that God has given you, or the mandate that you feel you have. You need to get that, because that's the message that you want.
Yeah,
And if
absolutely
you're always
so.
defending the message, it becomes distracting, and the message becomes convoluted, and it doesn't come across. It's like you don't always have to have an anti-position. Sometimes you have to have a position. In other words, you're always criticizing what you see coming at you.
Right.
You're always fighting against
Right.
that. But if you had your own message, it would be better.
Absolutely.
Than always fighting against
Yes,
other
yes, yes,
messages.
yes, yes.
So that is the offense. We are called to do something.
Yeah.
We are called to be influencers. We are called to be ambassadors. We are called to be agents of change.
Yeah.
In a proactive way, in a
Yes.
healthy way.
Yes.
In a way that speaks about having agreements, a way that speaks about having a mandate.
Yeah.
A way that can usher and push things forward, because that will ultimately get you to your result. But if you're always just defending and defending
No,
and
no, no,
defending,
no, no.
it is
You're
just
gonna
time
spend,
wasted.
Yeah,
It
you're
is
going to
just
spend
time
a lot
wasted.
of time for unnecessary
Yeah.
stuff.
So in politics, in American politics, it gets to the place where you get a bill passed and
Yeah.
you get that kind of
Yeah.
reform that you
Yeah.
want. On a ministerial level, you get to a place where people are, if you're influencing women, that they assume the mentalities that
Yeah.
God wants us to. They live a principle,
Yeah.
a Christ-centered life. So those are the end results. And I think that taking platforms, they are there if you have an
end
understanding
result.
of the
Yeah.
end result.
Yeah.
What's the
The
game
goal.
plan?
What's the goal? Yeah.
What's the end game?
Yeah.
Why do I want to take
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
platform? Do I want to take this platform just to look good and sound good? Or do I want to take this platform to get to a place
Yes.
of meaning, to get to a
Yes.
place where I'm actually achieving something that is measurable in people's lives?
Absolutely
That is why
so.
feedback is important.
Absolutely.
Did I hit... like you say, did I hit the target
Yeah.
from last week?
Yeah, yeah,
Did I
yeah,
get the
yeah.
bullseye?
Did I get the
Yes. Did I
bullseye?
get to the point
Yes.
that I wanted to
Yes.
arrive at? Or was I just wasting time and waffling
Absolutely
along?
so.
Did I manage to speak to the audience, like you say? Was my message refined enough so that they
Yeah,
could hear
yeah,
my message?
yeah.
Am I hitting
Could they
the target?
identify? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that is really hitting the bullseye. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's why with everything that you do, when you are placed on a podium, find out the goal.
Yes.
Why?
What's
the
the point
why?
of
What's
it?
the point of this?
Yes.
It is so important, because if you have the goal, you know, then you speak according to, I want to reach that goal. I want to
Yes.
hit. I want to
Yes.
hit the target.
Your actions are defined according to the
Accordingly.
outcome. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So you work your way through to the outcome.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Otherwise, it's just a once-off waste of time.
No, otherwise you're going to keep on fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to keep on becoming that rebellious person.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be called, oh, you call me rebel. You know what I'm saying? So that is important for us, guys. And also it is important for us to take our stand and to hold our ground and never apologize for who you are and for what you believe in. It is so important to voice your opinion, because you have an opinion. You know, I always take it, we always like to say as women, and I'm talking like the majority of us.
Yeah.
We always like to say, wow, if something happened, and say, for instance, we are in leadership. We're all in leadership. You're in a leadership meeting. You hear the different views of leaders,
Yeah.
right? I'm taking this as an example, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it happened. I'm saying it's an example.
Hypothetical.
Yes. So now, because you're a good listener and you have a spirit of discernment, you notice and you see that, oh, okay, this is voiced because of A, B, and C.
Yeah.
So here's a problem here.
Yeah, you identify.
So you
it.
identify there's a problem. But because you always take the back seat, you
Yeah.
allow the problem to infest Can I put
Yeah.
it that way?
Yeah.
The wound to actually fester.
Yes. That's why I think the saying goes, have the courage of conviction.
Yes.
So once you have that conviction, you must have the courage to act upon it.
To
And-
voice your opinion.
Yes, to act
speak,
upon it.
Yeah, to speak against it.
Yeah.
And to voice. But most of the times, we keep quiet.
Yeah. You want to be
And-
part of the I told you so ministry.
Ja, nee, so waar. And then afterwards, we say,
I told you so.
I told you. I told you this is going to happen.
Yeah.
I told you this. But you see,
You had to speak when
you
it was
had
necessary.
to. You had to speak because you allow so many things that were unnecessary. You're actually the cause of what happened.
Yes.
You're part of the cause.
Yes.
You
That's
know what
when
I'm
your
saying?
silence is not
when
golden.
That's when your silence is not golden.
Yeah.
You see, you cannot keep quiet if you discern something. You have to speak out, and you have to actually, and most of the times in ministry, I'm talking from a ministerial perspective, most of the times you have to also say things,
Yeah.
and not think, what is your husband going to say, who is the head of everybody, and your head. So sometimes you don't see it because you know how it is. Pastors are good guys. They like the everybody to be in a good space, right?
Yes.
So now you see it and you think that,
Yeah. But I think that also speaks to the fact that you are two, you are male and female, and we were given different giftings.
Yeah.
And when you have an acknowledgement of that, you have a respect for what the female
That's the
voice will
respect,
hold,
yeah.
and you will have a respect for what the male
Yeah.
voice will hold.
Yeah.
And once those two work in unison with one another, something new
yeah,
and
but
powerful
sometimes
emerges.
you don't work in unison. Sometimes you keep quiet as a woman because of the respect you have for the man. Let's just be honest. As
call
first
it.
ladies, let's call a spade a spade. Sometimes you don't want to raise your opinion and you don't want to say something because you feel that it's going to bring some sort of an atmosphere that
Yeah.
won't be so lekker, at that specific time. And listen, the meeting went so well, but now because of this, and you see this, and this thing is really scratching on the...
Yeah.
And
then you end up in the I told you so ministry.
You understand? And afterwards, when the rubber hits the road, then you want to say, oh, you know what? I've seen this. I told you.
Yeah.
I told you this is going to happen. But, girlfriend, you had to say so. But listen, sir, A, B, and C. What you just said, why are you saying that? Because you can bring it back, instead of just saying things
Yeah.
bluntly. There's a way of doing things.
Yeah.
There's a way of asking questions. When you ask questions, you don't put words in someone's mouth,
Yeah.
right? You actually ask the question to be answered.
Yes.
And when you get the answer, you go further
Yeah.
on another question on top of the answer.
Yeah.
That is how I'm teaching you
strategy.
coaching strategies, right? These are what you use in coaching. You ask questions. You never give answers. You just ask questions. People talk themselves out of their problem. We don't give advice. We just ask questions.
In coaching, yeah.
In coaching. So it's important for you then to understand that in ministry, use that
Yeah.
coaching mechanisms to actually help you through difficult situations.
Yeah.
To come back to, because that is the podium that you are given.
I think also another focus point will be, is what you are saying helpful, and will it produce something that is healthy?
Yes.
And with that in mind, you have to maintain that kind of a spirit, a respectful spirit, and a spirit that has an intention to produce something good and helpful. You raise something important about how we communicate certain things. I think
That's very important, though.
yes, if we communicate in wisdom and we season our words with kindness and respect, I think it can go a long way.
Yeah, you see, and that's where we have the advantage as a woman.
Yeah.
We have the advantage with that in mind.
Yes.
We bring it we give it the softer touch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas I know my man is not someone that will just be on the softer side.
Okay.
No.
He's the drill sergeant.
Yeah, as he says, he hit from the hip.
Okay.
He shoots from the hip.
Yeah.
He shoots from the hip. So that is what he does. But when you are there as the woman,
Yes.
you have an advantage to actually bring the audience back to the softness. So you bring that softer touch,
Yeah.
you know, and that is why there's collaboration. When you are in unity, things work.
Yeah.
because-
Unity and agreement go a long way.
It goes a long way. It
Yeah.
goes a long way.
It's an unspoken code,
Yeah.
and there's a flow, and not to mention the spiritual atmosphere is different.
Oh, yes.
In unity.
Oh, yes.
And when you have disunity, you have a spirit of dissension
yeah,
and disunity.
yeah.
And nothing can really be accomplished in that environment.
And discord is actually from there.
Yes, from the
it
devil.
stems from there. It
Yes.
stems from there because this. Now imagine
Yeah.
you don't voice your opinion in the softer sense, all right?
Yes.
And you leave the husband to shoot from the hip.
Yeah.
Then you find
I told you so.
people leave with question marks. They leave there with what went wrong with what's wrong with him.
Yeah.
So he becomes the focus point.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he shoot from the hip,
Okay.
right? Whereas that's if you're quiet and you don't voice your opinion and
Yeah.
bring the softer touch in.
Like
Can you see how you can?
Yeah, maybe to offer support and context to his message.
Absolutely.
Okay.
In a softer way.
Yes.
With
So say
your- with-
yeah.
with-
So say the
with
same
your
thing but
characters.
differently.
Yeah. Characteristics. With,
Yes.
with a female
Characteristic.
characteristic.
Yeah.
You
And that
understand?
is true.
It's so
Sometimes,
important.
and you have to be mindful, I think, of the male strength and the female
Yeah.
strength. And some tasks are better for a male
Yeah.
strength,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
some tasks
Oh,
are more
yes.
suited for a female
Oh,
strength.
yes.
So if you operate as a team, you could actually say,
Absolutely
you know
so.
what, I think this is better suited for you to deal with, and I think this is better suited for me to deal
Absolutely
with.
so. Yeah. Also, you see, when you're on a podium, there are a lot of things, as we said earlier, that will be pushbacks. I'm thinking, and I was looking at this young girl who was 11 years old. I think it was Pakistan, or I don't know. I think she was from Pakistan. Yeah, she was a Pakistani a schoolgirl. And on this, I want to say, consider that your remarks could be recorded, posted on YouTube, and circle the world, right? So say what you mean and mean what you say, because you can't take it back.
Not in this day and age. As
Not
well.
in this day and age. And an example is this Pakistani schoolgirl. Her name was Mala Yousafzai. I don't know how do you pronounce her surname, but her name was Malala. She spoke boldly at the press club in Peshawar, and she said, "How can the Taliban's take away my right for education? It's my right
Yeah.
to be educated."
Yeah.
And she said this at a press club. And this message went viral.
Yeah.
It went across the world, you know. And 4 years later, she was shot in the head while riding the school bus on her way home. Miraculously, she survived. But she had to flee.
Yeah. She left the country.
Remember, she had to leave the country. So I am saying, sometimes when you stand up, have the courage to know, to mean what you say, and to say what you mean.
Yeah, well, she had so much courage. She
She
took a
had
bullet for
so
it.
much courage
Yeah.
that at 11 years old, she won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
11 years old.
And she still has the same message
And
today.
she still have the same message. And she can change the lives of so many young girls
Yeah.
in Pakistan to get education.
Yeah.
because that's an injustice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To a girl.
Yeah.
I mean, you are a human being. It's your right to be educated. Am I right?
And the fact that it came from a girl was because she had empathy and she had personal experience.
Yes, absolutely.
So
she spoke out of experience.
Yes, and it could have only been communicated in that way by a female.
Yeah.
Because she had
She
a personal
experienced
relationship
it.
with that kind of injustice.
Yes.
And I think that's why the female voice and the male voice are both important, because we speak about things that affect us personally.
Yes.
Things that speak to our nature, things that speak to our gender, things that are specific to what it is that we are going through. And so a healthy way, is that okay? Did we just go off?
We went over our time though, but yeah, carry on, basically.
No, I was worried about the load shedding.
Oh, no.
Okay. But what I was saying was the female and the male voice are important.
Very important.
Because they come from a place of, it's a personal place.
Yeah.
So you can only speak about women's issues because you come from it from a personal
Yes.
place. I'm not saying that men can't speak about women's issues or women can't speak about men's issues,
Yeah.
but you cannot identify with it in the
Absolutely
same way.
so, yes.
So it needed to come from her because she
Absolutely.
was speaking for, against,
young
and
girls,
because
yeah.
she was a woman.
Yeah. And a young girl, who experienced the injustice.
Yes, she definitely did.
I would like you to just go through that. We came to the end of our show, guys. It went so fast, but nevertheless, we're going to just read a few of our comments. Leanne's going to read a few of the comments, and then we're going to say bye-bye to you, and we thank you so much for tuning in. So, yes, let's listen to the comments.
We have a nice comment from Kimlin Joel. I know just how much this platform changed my life and awoken the dead woman in me. I've grown so much, so courageous, and gained so much from just listening to the show weekly. That's a good one.
Well,
I like that
awesome
one.
Thank you.
Hashtag talk with Joan. And then Monique
Yes.
Jobs quotes a scripture, Proverbs 31:8-9. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves,
Yes.
for the rights of all those who are destitute.
Amen.
Another one from Kimlin Joel. I love Lady S on the show because she is so unapologetic about being loud and proud. I've always been told the lady is never loud, and it made me so scared to speak in certain crowds. But that's true. Shout out to you, Lady S. I hope you're sharing and watching this message when you can. Yes, that's the fun thing about Lady S.
Yeah, true.
She's
She don't
definitely
care.
unapologetic.
Yeah, she says she can tell
She
you
owns
straight.
it. She owns
She
it.
owns it. She says,
She owns
I'm
it and she's
Afrikaans,
bold.
guys, and if you can understand me, that's okay with us because we're just communicating.
Yes, and then Monique has a support here for you, Pastor Joan. I agree, Pastor Joan, your testimony can save others or help someone. Micheline
Yes.
Peterson comes at us and she says, this reminds me of the law of buy-in. Dr. Maxwell puts it this way. If people buy into both the leader and the vision, they'll get behind the leader.
Amen.
Pastor Eileen Peilman, I almost gave you a new name there, Pastor Eileen. Eilman, Eileen Peilman. That's a good one, Pastor. Know your audience. So I think that she was referring to the part about that. And then Gail Briley says, I worry about the influences that our kids look up to on social media.
Oh, yeah,
that's a
very
word.
true, eh?
Many lack integrity, the type like
that's so
Serena
true.
Williams and Tuli Madonsela. How to multiply and build more of these women. Yes, it is true. Because not all that glitters is gold.
Yeah,
Tuli
Tuli Madonsela is
she was brave and bold.
very true.
And she took
She
the heat
stood
for
up.
that.
Yeah, I actually forgot about her.
She definitely
Yeah,
took the heat for
definitely,
that.
yeah.
And Serena Williams, she spoke up against many injustices. The way that people looked at her, perceived her,
absolutely.
the way they
The
spoke
racist,
derogatory against her body.
Yeah.
And she stood up to that, and big ups to that. That was definitely a great legacy that she left, not only in tennis, but also for one
a
of
lot of
social
women, yeah.
reform and for being a great ambassador for women. Micheline Peterson, knowing yourself, have the message and love the message. And then again, let's see there, Gail Briley says, how we live is also a podium. It really is about letting your life reflect your message, your heart, your passion, and ultimately Christ. Micheline Peterson, Pastor Joan, you really live out your message, and I love how you're always looking into empower those around you on behalf of all of us. Thank you. Word up.
Thank you.
And then Micheline, thank you, Pastor Lee, for always sharing so powerfully. I leave a better woman after a Thursday show. And so those are beautiful. We'll just conclude there with one, Kimlan Joel. Speak so Christ shines through you, powerful. Sometimes you are the only Bible people read.
Absolutely.
And so we have to represent Christ well.
Oh, yes.
That's one of our fundamental and first ministries, is just to represent the gospel in a healthy way. And then, Gail, I found it so funny how, as women, we must strategize all the time to get our message across or navigate our way through difficult moments.
Yes.
Where our counterparts,
So
they don't strategize around us. That is true. Women have a greater consideration, and they measure their words, they count their words, they're mindful of their patois, they're mindful of how they look. We mustn't come across too aggressive, otherwise the message becomes corrupted.
Yeah.
And so it's like a mind game just to get a message out. And she's saying that our counterparts, they just kind of go.
Absolutely
and,
so.
They don't have the same reservations about it. But that it is, we are different. Women are from Venus, males are from Mars.
Yeah, true.
We are different inherently. But, you know, the message of the world is to bid women and men up against each other.
But
and we are saying
not,
what is for women is not necessarily against men.
No.
We are for partnership. We are for union, we are for agreement.
Unity, yes.
And unity, because our message is stronger when it is carried across like that. And that's a big deal for us.
Yeah.
So in building up unity and building up women to operate in platforms, what's important is that the platforms that we operate, we conduct ourselves responsibly in them so that people will always have God's version of what it needs to look like.
Absolutely.
And I think that
is
also possibly
why it's
my
so
concluding
important.
message.
And it's so important then for us as women to actually go for positions, go for leadership roles, you know, so that we can bring that touch into the world, per se.
Who you are matters and what you have can make a difference.
Absolutely.
Don't underplay yourself. Don't underrate yourself. If God thinks you're worth it, you need to believe him on that.
Yeah. So, my last comment is when more women feel empowered at the podium, their collective voices will then create what author Greg Estabrook has called a sonic boom.
Hey.
And a sonic boom can shatter ceilings. Girls, when we're united, we can shatter booms, right? We can shatter ceilings. So come on now, let us stay together, let us unite, and let us be that force to be reckoned with, because my message to you today and to the world is, let your voice be heard. That is my last message. So yes, we came to the end of the show. Thank you so much for your participation. To all our fans, we love you. God loves you best. Go in the peace of the Lord and enjoy your day further. Mwah.
As I look upon my life, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dream.